I've completed the 5-day Musclefood Do the Unthinkable challenge and the results are in. Good morning everyone, it is now Tuesday the 9th of October and I'm so excited for my day ahead on the Do the Unthinkable challenge. So this is going to be day 1 of 5. I weighed in this morning and I'll pop that on the screen just now. I was 144 pounds. So we shall see what that changes to on Sunday morning after I've done all 5 days on the Do the Unthinkable challenge. So I'm going to head off now. Good morning everybody. So today is Wednesday and I'm going to tell you a bit about how the plan went yesterday. Brilliant. I really enjoyed it. I started with the gingerbread porridge, which I have to say was actually a bit bland. It was nice, but I didn't get the taste of gingerbread at all. But I had my berries through it and I added some 0-calorie maple flavoured syrup to it and it was lovely. It was very nice. And I was going out straight after that, so I took my, the Soreen malt loaf. I took that as my morning snack out with me because I knew it would be a wee bit later before we got back. So I had that when I was out, and with one thing or another I ended up being really late back and I was starving by the time I got back. I have to say it was about 2:30 before I got back. Thankfully I had the lasagna there waiting just to go in the microwave and it took 4.5 minutes I think, and that was me with my lunch, and I have to say the lasagna was amazing. It was so good. I don't know what they used for the cheesy saucy bit, but it was really, it's hard to describe. It was very cheesy and it had the consistency of cheese. It wasn't runny and even the mince wasn't runny. The whole thing sort of kept its shape. Yeah, it was just so tasty. And the vegetables that come with it, I was a wee bit worried to be honest because I'm not much of a vegetable person. I'm always very plain when it comes to veg, you know, onions, mushrooms, tomatoes, that's normally about my limit. But oh, it was so good. Even though it had peppers and courgettes in it, I thought, oh, because I'm only just starting to eat them, but it was very tasty. So I highly recommend that meal if anybody does decide to do the plan. I had the barbecue mountain chips, and for anyone who might not have seen my videos before, just a little bit of background about me. I haven't got any teeth. My illness that left me in the wheelchair also took all my teeth from me, and these don't fit properly, so I can't eat with them in. So I was a wee bit worried when it came to eating the mountain chips that they would maybe be a bit too hard for me to eat with no teeth, but they weren't. They were the perfect consistency. They were like Doritos but a bit softer. And the taste was so good, really good. And then it was time for my dinner. And again, I wasn't really that hungry. And I'm glad that I had the lasagna for my lunch, because if I was to have something big like that waiting for me, I don't know if I would have eaten it or not. But because I knew it was just the rice, I thought, right, go for it, eat it. So I had just the plain chicken rice pot. When I first made it, I thought, it's very plain looking. It looks like the sort of thing you would eat when you've not been well and you're just trying to get food back in your stomach again, but it did smell nice. And I have to say it tasted really good. There wasn't a sauce with it, but it was nice to have that for a wee change. Just something plain. It was basically rice with chicken, carrots, broccoli, I think there was cauliflower in there as well, and it was very tasty. The chicken was very succulent, really good. So I did enjoy that. And then much later on, I managed to have the Yum white chocolate cracker protein biscuit things. And they, at first I thought, I'm not sure. But again, I think it's because we're having no teeth, I had to soak them, I couldn't crunch them. So that's what I ate on the plan yesterday. Did I go off plan? Not at all. And you know what? If I had still been on Slimming World, I would have, big time. One of the things that I was out for yesterday was to go to Poundland, and the man working there very evilly tempted us with Mars bars. They were doing the pack of the 4 chalk brownie Mars bars for £1. And of course I was like, nope, don't want them. But Abby was with me and she went, well, so I thought, right, okay, so I got them for the kids. So when we got back to the car, they were having a Mars bar each, and Abby said, do you want one? And I was so hungry that had I been on Slimming World, I would have. I definitely would have taken it, because my mind's still in that place. I'm still in the place where I'm not ready to diet, but this plan doesn't really feel like a diet. It feels like a challenge, and it feels like all my food's there, that's what I'm going to eat, and that's it. So I managed to resist, and I had my sodium bar instead. And then when we got home so late and I was so hungry, again, had I been on Slimming World, I wouldn't have been bothered to make something from scratch, and I probably would have just grabbed snacks. But because the lasagna was there and I knew it was going to be quick, it was less than 5 minutes, I made it. So this has definitely helped to keep me on track. So far, it's only been one day. Good morning, everyone. It's now Thursday morning. I hope you're all well. So I thought I would just come on this morning and let you know how the day went yesterday. That's 2 days now completed on the Do the Unthinkable challenge. And I had another good day yesterday. I started with the Battle Bites bar. I was out and about, so I took that with me, and it was the coconut flavour. Wow, how nice was that? It actually reminded me of, you know, the little truffles that you get, the little round truffles that are rolled in coconut. That's what it reminded me of. It was the same sort of consistency. It was very sweet. It had the hint of the coconut, which was nice, and it was so good. One of the good things about it was actually split into 2 pieces, and that was good because it was very sweet, even for someone like me who is a massive sweet addict. And because it's got a lot of protein in it, it was very filling as well. So I had 1 piece, and then I drove my daughter to the next place she was going, taxi driver through the holidays, and then I had my other piece before I came home, and oh, very nice. I would highly recommend that. And then a wee while later I had my morning snack, and I had the mountain chips again, but I had the sweet chilli flavour this time, and they were very nice. I think I prefer the barbecue flavour, but I did like the sweet chilli flavour as well. They weren't too nippy, so yeah, I really did enjoy them. Then my lunch was the Persian lime chicken with quinoa and minted peas. That was delicious, I have to say. Very nice. The flavours all complemented each other so well. You really got the lime through the chicken, and the peas had a hint of mint, but not too much. It wasn't overpowering, but you could definitely taste it, and the 2 flavours together were really nice. There was quite a lot of veg through it as well, and it was a really tasty meal. And then in the afternoon I had the Chinese chicken on a stick, and oh, so tasty. Very big, a lot bigger than I expected. I expected like a sort of chicken satay style stick, you know, with just a tiny wee bits of chicken on it. No, it was like a full chicken breast on this stick, and it had the Chinese coating all round it. So nice, very juicy, nothing dry about that at all. And that took me a good wee while to eat, so I really enjoyed that. Then my dinner was the chicken satay rice bowl. Again, just put it in the microwave, so it was dead easy, and it was nice. It was like the roll, sorry. It was like the rice bowl that I'd had the night before, except it had the sauce through it this time. I have to say, the satay sauce wasn't overly strong in that if I closed my eyes and ate it, I wouldn't have known it was satay. It was nice because it gave it a moistness, it gave it a sauce that the rice bowl the night before didn't have, but I wouldn't have said it was satay as such. It was very subtle, the flavour, but it was still very nice. Then my final snack of the day was the mint high-low bar, dark chocolate with mint and little sort of crunchy bits. Delicious. Very nice, very big, very filling, and it was like eating a sweet. Don't get me wrong, it was no mint Aero or Mars bar, but it was a lot more satisfying than either of those would have been. It was very big, it was nutritious, it was delicious, and it was very filling. So I was very impressed with that. So what are my thoughts of the plan now that I've been on it for 2 days? Still very positive. I still really like it. I would say last night, I had a sort of 2-second moment where I thought I was going to stray. Basically, my husband came in with caramel shortcake, and I love caramel shortcake. So Musclefood, if you're listening, if there's any way of getting a healthy protein version of caramel shortcake, please do. So I was very tempted just for a couple of seconds, then I thought, no Fiona, what are you on about? No, forget it. Again, had I been on Slimming World, I probably would have. Just being honest, I probably would have gave in and had a bit of the caramel shortcake. So I think, again, this challenge has saved me 2 days in a row. I didn't get to the stage that I was starving yesterday at any point, which was good. And I have to say, I was worried at first that it would be too much food because I'm not used to eating so regularly. And then once I did start eating so regularly, I was worried that I would start panicking at night thinking, I've only got one thing left to eat. What will I do if I'm still hungry after it? But I've not been hungry after it at all. Now, let's talk about exercise. A big part of this plan is supposed to be exercise. Now, day one, I didn't do any because I ended up being so busy, and then when I got home, I was absolutely exhausted. Yesterday, day two, I didn't do any either, and there's 2 reasons for that. One is that I wasn't feeling too great, and the other is that I checked out the DVD that comes with it, which is this, Do the Unthinkable, Phase 1, the base, and it looks fantastic if your legs work. Definitely not wheelchair adaptable at all. So part of the plan is that you're supposed to have access to a personal trainer. So I looked through all of the information that came with it, and I couldn't see anything about how you get in touch with them. So I don't know whether that's maybe supposed to be only if you're doing the sort of 30 days or the full 90-day challenge. But what I did was I emailed Musclefood and said, my position is I'm in a wheelchair, can you point me in the right direction as to what sort of exercise I should be doing? Do you have anything available, or do you have links to any programmes that I can watch, like on YouTube or anything like that? And disappointingly, they've not got back to me yet. That was yesterday morning. I understand they'll be very, very busy. And there is also a Facebook group that's there for support. I'm very aware that the people who reply to you are just people like you and me who are doing the plan and know a bit about it. They're certainly not experts in the field, and I wouldn't like to be inadvertently given the wrong information. I don't think anybody would do it deliberately, but I feel that it maybe wouldn't be the professional advice that I would be looking for, so I'm not really wanting to put it out there on the Facebook group. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some exercise today, and I am going to just do a YouTube workout. I've got quite a few on a playlist that I've seen with people who are in chairs doing their own sort of aerobic workouts, and they are professionals. They're not necessarily wheelchair bound themselves, but they do the whole workout in a chair. So I'm going to do one of those, I think, and I'm going to hope that they do get back to me at some point today. But if not, it's better than nothing. So that's my plan for this morning. So eating wise, I'm looking forward to it again today. I'm still not hungry at the moment. It's about 8:30. So I'm going to do my exercise first, and then I'll think about having something to eat, and I'm going to have porridge today, I think, for my breakfast. And I'm not sure what I'm going to have the rest of the day. I'm just going to wait and see. I know that it's all there waiting for me, so I can just have a look and see which one I fancy and then quickly make it. I wouldn't say that I'm feeling any difference at the moment in terms of my body or even my mindset at the moment, but it's only been 2 days, so We shall wait and see. I'm not the type of person who weighs in between. I like to keep my weigh in a bit of a surprise, like Christmas. I don't want to know what I'm getting for Christmas until the actual day. And I'm a bit like that with my weigh-ins as well. I don't like to have a sneak peek through the week. So I've not checked my weight or anything like that, and I don't feel any difference in bloating or anything. But it's still very early days, and I'll let you know when I do. Okay, I'll catch up with you later. Bye! Good morning, everyone. Today is Friday, and it is also the start of day 4 of Do the Unthinkable challenge. Can you believe it? I'm more than halfway through already, and I'll tell you in a minute what I'm thinking so far. First of all, what did I eat yesterday? I had the banana porridge for breakfast, and I wasn't keen, to be honest. It was quite bland. It did have a bit of a banana taste, but a very fake banana taste. And I think what I'm finding with the porridge is usually when I have my porridge, it's the oats so simple, whereas this is proper rolled oats, I think, and the consistency is very different. It's very lumpy it's not as smooth as the oats so simple. So I don't know if it's maybe the texture that's putting me off, but the taste, it's not a horrible taste, but it's quite bland. Definitely not very sweet. I added some banana to it, and I added some more of the 0-calorie maple syrup as well, and that made it palatable, shall we say. But I certainly wouldn't get the banana porridge again. I have got porridge again today, but it's going to be the chocolate one, so we'll see how that is. And my morning snack was the Yum protein crunchers again, but it was the milk chocolate ones this time, and I have to say I really, really enjoyed them. I think I definitely prefer the milk chocolate to the white chocolate, although I would definitely have both again. They were really nice. I do like them. So for lunch, I had the teriyaki salmon stir fry, and I wasn't overly impressed with the stir fry veg that came with it. It was huge big lumps of broccoli, way too big for my liking, but I had already put it in the pan before I realised that, so I didn't get a chance to cut them up. The peppers that were in it, again, were huge. I had the whole top of a green pepper that wasn't sliced or cut or anything. It was just basically, you could still see the shape of the pepper, and it was red, green and yellow peppers, so I took a lot of the pepper out because it was just way too much. And there was some spring onion, and that was it. That was the only veg that was in it. So to me, a stir fry should at least have mushrooms and onions in it, if nothing else. So I was a little bit disappointed, and because I did take some of the big bits of pepper out, I didn't feel it was really that filling. I went to add my own mushrooms to it, but they were yucky. They'd been in the fridge too long and they were way past their best, so I didn't bother. But the actual salmon was lovely. Huge big chunks of salmon. The sauce it was in was really nice, and I did enjoy it, don't get me wrong. I really did enjoy it, and I probably would have it again, but now I know that I would bulk it out with other veg of my own, and I would probably cut the veg up more before I put it in the pan. So that was lunch. And then the afternoon, it was the chicken on a stick. And it was a spicy one this time, and I was a wee bit worried because when I opened it I thought, whoa, that smells really spicy, and I'm quite a wimp when it comes to spice, but to be honest, it was so nice. I think I actually preferred it to the Chinese chicken, and I really enjoyed that. It was spicy in the way that it had a bit of an after kick, but it wasn't blow your mouth off spicy, and the flavour was just lovely. And again, the chicken was so moist. I hate that word. That word makes me laugh. I should maybe say it was succulent. But it was so good, and my 14-year-old daughter took a bit off me, and even she really enjoyed it as well. So that was a winner. What did I have for my tea? I had the chow mein. I had the chicken chow mein, and when I first made it, it was the ready meal. Just bung it in the microwave, absolutely perfect. And at first I thought, it does look and smell a little bit bland, but it wasn't. It was very tasty. Had some nice veg in it as well, and it was lovely. I did enjoy that. I would definitely have that again. My final snack was the diet whey bar, the protein chocolate bar, and that was very good. Again, it had the texture of a protein bar. You would know without looking at it. Oh, hello Ranach, here's my big doggy. You could tell without looking at it that it was a protein bar, but it wasn't unpleasant in any kind of way. It was very chocolatey, it was very sweet, and it really hit the mark when you're looking for something sweet. It was very filling, it lasted ages, really good. So another good day yesterday. In terms of, was I tempted to stray, go off the plan, have something else? Not at all. I think something flicked in my mind yesterday. It was like a little switch going bing, and I suddenly thought, this is great. My husband was eating snowballs and caramel shortcake again, and I wasn't even tempted this time. I was very, very impressed with myself, and I actually started thinking, maybe I'm ready for Slimming World again. Don't get me wrong, I'm not sick of this plan at all, but I started thinking, you know, maybe my head's getting back into the right place, which is a good thing. It's one of the main reasons that I wanted to do this plan. Exercise, I did the exercise yesterday morning. I did a power chair workout by a guy called Paul Eugene on YouTube, and that was really good. It was a half-hour workout and I enjoyed it, and I'll tell you, I am feeling it today. So it definitely did work. I think I'm going to do another one today, but I'm going to do a low-impact chair workout. So it's another 30 minutes, but it's a lot kind of lower. It will still be aerobic, it will still get my heart going, but it won't be quite as intensive as the one that I did yesterday. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And that's something else that I've been meaning to do, exercise, for the last don't know how many weeks on Slimming World, and I've just not been able to. I got my B12 injection yesterday as well, so hopefully that will give me a real boost and I'll be raring to go again. And in myself, again, I've not weighed, I don't weigh in between, but I would say that I feel less bloated, which is surprising because I have eaten more rice in the last 3 days than I have in the last 3 months. Rice does tend to bloat me quite a bit, so I usually stay away from it. And I was a little bit worried that having it every day was going to have an impact on me. I didn't have rice yesterday, it was noodles that I had, but it's the same sort of carbs. And so yeah, I'm feeling less bloated today, so that's a good thing. So far, definitely so good. I'm more than halfway there. I'm looking forward to today's food, today's exercise, and then tomorrow morning I will tell you what I thought of today. So I hope you're enjoying this video so far. I hope you're enjoying seeing what I'm eating and how I'm feeling on this plan. And I will see you later on. Bye! Good morning everyone. Today is Saturday, and first of all, can I please apologise if you can hear the sound of the washing machine and the tumble dryer in the background. As you can see, I'm in the kitchen today. Abby had friends over last night and one of them stayed the night, so they are currently still asleep in my usual room, so I'm having to make do with the kitchen today. And again, if you've not seen my videos, please excuse the decor. We haven't decorated yet, we've not done the kitchen up since we moved in. Anyway, that's completely on a tangent as usual, Fiona. Today is day 5 of my Do the Unthinkable challenge, my final day, woo! And I thought I would first of all tell you what I thought of yesterday, which was day 4. It was another good day. I had the chocolate porridge for breakfast, and I would say out of all the porridges so far, that was the tastiest, but again, still wasn't as good as my Oat So Simple. What do you expect? It's healthier. It's got a lot more protein in it, and yeah, it's just generally healthier. So it's not as nice. I put some banana on it and it was nice. It did have a subtle chocolate flavour, but not as much as you would hope when it says chocolate. Then my morning snack was the barbecue mountain chips, a firm favourite of mine now, definitely. And I think even when I'm on Slimming World, if you can get them in shops, I've got a feeling I've seen them somewhere, and if you can get them, I probably would, because at 93 calories that would work out about 4.5 sins, which for a packet of crisps like that you get a fair amount in, and they do last a wee while and they're very tasty, I think I would be willing to spend the sins on them. So definitely a firm favourite. Lunch was the Chinese curry, and that was really, really tasty. I have to say, it was very good. The sauce was delicious, very creamy, and I just served that with some whole grain rice because you are allowed to add rice to your meal. I think so far that and the lasagna have definitely been my favourite meals, and I would definitely have that again. My afternoon snack was, sorry, wait till I check my notes. My afternoon snack, oh, it was my Chinese chicken on a stick. Again, a firm favourite. Very tasty, very, very filling, and it takes ages to eat because it's so big. Really good. And then my dinner was the barbecue chicken rice pot. My least favourite, I would say. There was nothing wrong with it at all. The meal was lovely. It was rice, it was chicken, it was veg. It was the barbecue sauce that wasn't to my taste. Other people, I'm sure, would really like it, and I'm sure some of the vloggers that I've watched who have done it did really enjoy it. The barbecue sauce just wasn't my cup of tea. I didn't eat all of it because, like I say, it wasn't my favourite, but I did eat most of it. And then at night I had the high-low caramel crunch chocolate protein bar, and oh, so nice. I have to say, the chocolate protein bars have been really good. You can't tell they're protein bars, but they last ages. They're really sweet, and because they're protein, they're very, very filling. I know I've said that a lot in this video, but that's just the way it is. The good thing about this plan is it is very protein heavy, which keeps you full. And that's why I like having those snacks last thing at night, because it means that by the next day, it's now 11 o'clock and I'm still not hungry. So definitely a good way to do it. So today is my last day and I'm looking forward to it. I've saved a lot of treat things for today because we're going to sit down tonight with the kids and watch a film. So I've saved my pizza. I've got the chicken tikka pizza, so I'm looking forward to that, and the popcorn. So that's what I would normally like to do if we're having a movie night. I would like to have pizza and a nice bowl of popcorn. So I'm looking forward to that. It just shows that you can do normal things on this plan. How am I feeling psychologically in myself? I'm feeling good. I put my jeans on today and they're definitely a bit looser, so that's obviously a good thing. I don't know what the scales are going to say tomorrow. I'm looking forward to finding out. But even if they haven't changed, I think the way that I feel in my clothes and the way I feel in myself is definitely more important. And I'm loving the fact that I am feeling changes. Definitely good. My head, I think I'm at the stage now that I'm missing the freedom of Slimming World. I'm missing the fact that if I feel like I'm needing something to eat, I can just go and grab, I don't know, some sweetened quark or some fruit or a half-sin jelly, yogurt, that sort of thing. Generally I'm missing sins, but the whole point in me doing this plan was so that I didn't have to think about sins. So I'm not really sure whether it's a good thing or not. I'm a bit worried that when I do go on Slimming World, I'm going to go the opposite way and think, yeah, I can have things again and overeat. Because I have to say, I've not been hungry. I've just been missing the fact that I can pick at things. So I'll talk more about that on Monday in my Slimming World weigh-in update, so stay tuned for that. Exercise wise, I did my half hour yesterday. Sorry, the washing machine's about to go crazy. I did my half hour lower impact yesterday and that was good. Today I've not got any structured exercise planned, but I think I'm going to be a fair while wheeling myself around, cleaning up after these kids. Yes, that's definitely going to be body magic in itself. So I'm going to stop waffling now and I will catch up with you later on when I have my breakfast. Good morning everyone. It is now Sunday morning, which means I've completed all 5 days of the Do the Unthinkable challenge by Musclefood. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to tell you how I got on yesterday on day 5. Then I'm going to share my weigh-in results. And then I'm going to tell you my overall thoughts on the Do the Unthinkable plan. So yesterday for breakfast, it was the apple, sultana and cinnamon protein oats. And they were pretty much exactly like every other one of the oats. I have to say I've not been as impressed with the porridges as I thought. I think the the titles that they're given make them sound like something that they're actually not. There were 2 sultanas in the whole pot of oats. I couldn't taste the apple or the cinnamon. So basically I added my own chopped apple and cinnamon to it, which did make it a lot nicer. But to me, all the porridges tasted the same. The chocolate one had a very slight hint of chocolate and it was brown, but the rest were pretty much the same. The banana had a bit of a fake banana taste, but generally I really wasn't overly impressed with the porridges, to be fair. After that I had the white chocolate yum crunchers, and again, like the first time, I did really enjoy them. I still prefer the milk chocolate, I think, to the white chocolate, but they were nice. And what we then did was we decided to turn the movie night into a sort of movie afternoon stroke evening. So my lunch, which was the sweet chilli chicken rice pot, and my next snack, which was the milk chocolate yum crunchers, I had both of them watching the first film, and I did enjoy both. Again, the rice pot, they all seem to be pretty much the same, just with different sauces. Maybe a very slight difference in the veg that's in them, but they're generally all the same, but very tasty. The sweet chilli chicken was nice. There was quite a few chilli flakes in it, but it wasn't overbearing. It wasn't too spicy, so I did enjoy that. And the yum crunchers, yeah, nice. Then, for watching the second film, I had the pizza. Chicken tikka pizza, and it was really good. It was a real pizza. I have to say, it tasted, it looked, it felt like a proper pizza. It was so good. I expected it to maybe have a weird consistency or not very much cheese, but no, it was like a real pizza. It was lovely, very nice. Then after the pizza, I had been so looking forward to it all day. I got the vanilla protein popcorn and put it into a nice bowl ready to sit and munch on, and I didn't like it. I really didn't like it. It was all powdery and really sickly sweet, like covered in sweetener. It felt a bit like a whole tub of sweetener had been dumped on it, and I really didn't like that at all. It was not my cup of tea, and I was so disappointed because I'd been saving it all week for watching the film. Hey ho, these things happen. Not everybody's going to like everything. So that was yesterday's food, and I have to say, yesterday was the first day that I really did struggle. I was hungry and I wanted to eat everything, and I'm not sure if it was because it was day 5, I knew it was the last day, or if it was because it was a Saturday. Saturdays are difficult days for me anyway, because Jack's off and we do things as a family, and if that involves sitting watching TV, watching movies, things like that, I always want to eat. So I'm not sure if it was maybe a combination of all of those. I really don't know, but I did struggle. I didn't stray, but I did struggle. I was a bit worried last night. I was glad that it was the end and thought, right, okay, tomorrow back on Slimming World. But I was a bit worried that because I was hungry and because I had been feeling restricted by the end of it, that I was going to want to get up today and binge on everything, thinking, yeah, I'm not doing the plan anymore, I can eat whatever I want. But surprisingly, I haven't. I've been really good. I've already prepped my food for taking to rehearsal, and I'm feeling in a good place. My head is definitely in a much better place than it was before, but I will talk more about that in my weigh-in update tomorrow, my Slimming World update. Now, the most important thing, or one of the most important things, what were the results? I was 144 pounds when I started on Tuesday, and I now weigh 142.6 pounds, which means I've lost 1.4 pounds in the 5 days. I'm pleased with that. I think that's quite a good loss for 5 days. However, it's not much different to what I was getting on Slimming World. I was averaging sort of £2 a week before my head got a bit messed up. So I would say it's probably much of a muchness, really. I don't feel as bloated as I did, and I don't know why that is. I'm surprised because I was eating a lot of rice. But again, that's something else that I'm going to go into in tomorrow's update. So £1.4 off is good. My clothes are feeling good. I'm feeling good. Most importantly, my head is back in a much better place. So I think that's the main result that I was looking for this week, more than the number on the scales. So it has definitely worked in that respect. Now, what have I thought of the plan overall? Let me just go through a few things that I noted down. First of all, when I got my parcel, it was all packaged really, really well, and it was all cold and it was excellently packaged. However, what I would have liked to see is like a packing slip with it, so that I knew what was meant to be breakfast, snacks, lunches, dinners, etc. Because I felt I couldn't remember which was which. I don't think it makes an awful lot of difference, because as long as you're eating, 3 meals and 3 snacks a day, then I think that's fine. But I would have quite liked to see, even just to check that I had got everything that I had ordered, because I couldn't remember what I had ordered, to be fair. Also, it would have been good if there were clear instructions about what was to be frozen and what was fresh to be kept in the fridge, and that the best before dates... Sorry about that, that was Brooke sneezing in the background, bless you. And that the best before dates were more prominent. I had to search for the best before dates on the stuff that was in the freezer, and to be honest, that was really the only way I could tell the difference between what was to be frozen and what was to be fresh, was the dates. So it would have been nice to have a wee guide to help me put it away quicker, rather than having to look at them all in depth. The exercise side of it, I'm a bit confused by, because I do believe you're meant to have access to a personal trainer, but I don't know how. I was never told who my personal trainer was or how to contact them. The DVD looked like it was really good, but it's not suitable for everybody. Obviously I'm in the wheelchair, so it would have been nice if they had an alternative, or even if it said somewhere on the DVD, if this isn't suitable, please contact whoever and we'll try to arrange something else. So it seems like they are only catering for fit and healthy people, which, fair enough. I do believe that a lot of the people doing this plan are going to be able-bodied, but maybe not everyone. I'm certainly not, and I'm quite sure there's more people like me out there who are limited in one way or another, and it would be nice to have an alternative for them. And yeah, it just wasn't clear how to get in touch with the personal trainer that I was meant to have. But then I thought, maybe you only get the personal trainer if you're doing the plan for 30 days or 90 days, maybe just the 5 days. You don't get that. Again, not very clear. The communication was pretty poor, I would say. They were constantly sending emails out, sort of marketing emails, but when I emailed them, I didn't get a reply at all. I messaged them on Instagram and didn't get a reply. So, not impressed with their communication, I have to say. The food was very nice. Generally, it was really, really good. The protein notes were very samey, as I've already said in my daily food updates. I don't think I would get them again, to be honest, and I think that it's a mixture of the texture. I think they've all got the same sort of taste, and I think it's either the whey protein that's in it or the skimmed milk powder that's in it that gives it all the same taste, and their flavourings aren't strong enough, really, I would say, to be able to call them the flavours that they're calling them. I just don't think there's enough there at all. But again, that's just me. A lot of people do really like them, and don't discount them because I'm saying that I wasn't keen. Everybody's different. I think it would be good to have a bigger range of food. I'll come on to that in a wee while, but I thought it was very chicken heavy. I did have the lasagna, which wasn't chicken, and I think that was the only thing I had that wasn't chicken. It would have been nice to have more variety. The veg, lovely and fresh, but again, very samey. Everything had peppers in it, and that's fine because I'm getting used to peppers and I know they're good for you, but it would have been nice to have a wee break from them now and again. Even the chicken tikka pizza had peppers on it. However, I'm not complaining about that because that was so good. I think it would be quite nice to have some more sweet stuff in it as well. Yeah, I like to have something quite sweet after my meals, just a small thing. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't hungry after my meals at all, but I was looking for something extra because I needed a wee sweet fix of some kind. I wasn't hungry enough, I don't think, to have a full snack, and I didn't want to have my snack too soon and then end up being hungry later on. And I think if I did it again, I would get more sweet snacks than savoury, because I did get the chicken on a stick, which were lovely, and I did get the mountain chips, whereas I think I would get more of the protein bar type things because having that sweet fix was really, really good. That's one thing that I did miss. I did find that my sweet tooth was coming out quite a bit through the week. I ordered what I ordered. There's a bigger variety there. But again, it depends on your own individual needs. The plan, you tell them basically what height you are, what weight you are, what your goals are. So yeah, they work out what meals you can have, what snacks you can have. And a lot of the things that I had seen on other people's, other vloggers' plan weren't available to me. I take it they weren't suitable for my requirements, so that wasn't great. But what I do believe they've started doing now as a breakfast is pancakes. So if I was to do the plan again at any point, I think I would definitely order pancakes for breakfast as a little change. The other thing I found with this plan, and I did say that I wasn't sure about the amount of food, because it was 3 meals and 3 snacks every day, and I don't normally eat that often. I'm not a snacky person, and I think that's because in the past I have done intermittent fasting, which is where you eat within a certain eating window. I used to eat between 12 midday and 8 PM, and I wouldn't eat the rest of the time. I don't do that so much now, although I do listen to my body and I eat when I'm hungry. So it is generally at least 11 o'clock before I start eating in the day. But it's not because I'm making myself do that, and I don't make myself stop eating at a certain time at night. I just listen to my body. But when I was doing the intermittent fasting, I did a lot of research into it and how it works and why it works. So I found the science of intermittent fasting very interesting. Now, it is very complicated because the human body is a very complicated system. However, put very simply, every time you eat, your body releases the hormone insulin, which is a very important hormone. Everybody needs it. Every time your body releases insulin, your brain tells your body to store fat. So whatever energy, whatever calories aren't used when you've had that meal can be stored as fat. That's very, very simple terms. It is more complicated than that, but that has always stuck with me. And for that reason, I tend not to like to snack a lot. I find that I would rather eat a lot in one sitting, if you like, rather than having something to eat and then an hour later having something else to eat and then an hour later having something else to eat, because your insulin is then going like that all the time. And that can have a detrimental effect on you if you're trying to lose weight. So one of the things that I found with this plan is, because you are having to eat so regularly and because the carbs are so high in the snacks, your insulin levels are going to be going through the roof quite a lot. And over a long period of time, I don't think that's ideal. That's just for me. I'm not saying for everybody, and obviously the plan does work. So generally, my overall thoughts on the plan, I've got 3 pros and 3 cons. I just wanted to use that to sort of summarise what I felt of the 5-day plan. The 3 pros that I came up with, the main one is it's so convenient. You don't need to think about food, you don't need to shop for food. It's all there, and every meal takes 10 minutes at the most to prepare. The second pro is it's extremely healthy. It's a very healthy plan in terms of the food that you're eating, because it's very protein rich, which means it's filling. It's also very well balanced with vegetables, and it's also very healthy in terms of the exercise that you're encouraged to do as well, if you can do it. Say no more. And the third pro is that the food is very tasty. Obviously there were a few things that I wasn't keen on, but that's just my taste. Other people will really like them, and I'm quite sure there's things that I really like that other people wouldn't be keen on. Everybody's taste is different, but generally the food was extremely tasty. The meat was very succulent, and I can't complain overall about the taste. Very good. So that was my 3 pros. My 3 cons: it's expensive. There's no getting away from it. It is an expensive plan to do. If you're paying the full price, you would be paying £60 for a 5-day plan, and they're basically looking for you to do a 90-day challenge. So when you work it out, it's a lot of money, especially if you're still having to go shopping for the rest of the family. It's different if you're on your own and that's it, you're not having to buy any more groceries or anything, but generally it is expensive. My second con is there's a limited food selection. At the moment, it is still quite young. They are constantly developing new foods for it. For example, the pancakes for breakfast. But it is very chicken based. And when I looked at my 5-day plan, everything that I was offered was very samey. So it is quite limited at the moment, and it's fine for 5 days, and I could possibly do the 30 days, but anything over that, I think I would really feel limited. And thirdly, my biggest bugbear of all is poor customer service. And I have to say I'm very, very shocked, because Musclefood in the past, I've dealt with them, I've had orders from them, and they've always been great. This time I've had no communication, they've not answered my questions, they've not replied to emails. The communication that they put in the box isn't great. And one thing that does really get me is the fact that the vloggers that I've watched who've been doing the plan have had excellent communication with them. They've had somebody on hand at any time that they could phone up and speak to get something organised. And to me, that is Musclefood showing a side of themselves that doesn't really exist. And call me a cynic, but it's like a marketing ploy. They are basically making it look to everybody that everybody gets that service, and everybody doesn't seem to get that service. They're obviously really treating the vloggers well because they know that they're going to be promoting their product for them, and if they look like they're working really hard to keep the customer happy, then customers are going to go for it. I did. So yeah, customer service to me was one of their biggest cons. Would I do the plan again? Possibly. I think if my head got back into a bad place again and I was really struggling mentally with food, having to think about what I was going to be eating and constantly thinking about food, I possibly would do it again. I would maybe do it again in January, because I do lose my way over Christmas, and it might be a good way to help me kickstart back into Slimming World again after Christmas. But right now, no, I wouldn't. It's too expensive, and I don't think there's that much of a need, because I got the same loss as I would on Slimming World when I'm on it. So no, I don't think I would do it again right now. I'm not saying that I would never do it again. I would possibly consider doing the 30-day challenge, but I think I would wait until they had a bigger food range and I was more confident that their service was going to be better and that they were catering to everybody in terms of the exercise programme as well. So that's generally my thoughts. Would I advise people to do it? Yeah. Would I advise people not to do it? Yeah. I think, to be honest, it's up to every individual. It's up to what you want out of the plan. If you are able-bodied, you're into the exercise, you're looking for convenience and you've got the money, go for it, definitely. if you're struggling financially, if you're like me and would be struggling with some of the exercise side of it and would need extra help, don't do it. That's just my opinion, and everybody has got their own opinion. And for anybody who watches my channel, you'll know the one thing you'll always get from me is 100% honesty. And that was one of the other reasons that I did this plan, the fact that I wasn't gifted it, and I would be 100% honest. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that any of the other vloggers wouldn't be honest, because I know in my heart that especially Helen and Trim with Tan would definitely be honest, but I don't feel any pressure one way or the other to give positive feedback where it's not due. I've given the feedback exactly as I've experienced it, and it's up to everybody out there how they want to take that. So I hope this has been useful for you. Please let me know down below what your thoughts are. Have you tried it? Are you thinking about trying it? I don't have a promotion code or anything like that because, as I said, I'm not sponsored in any way by Musclefood. They don't know my channel exists. But I do know that at least Helen from the Livingstones has a discount code, and I believe that Trim with Tan probably will have as well. So if you go to their channels, I will link them below. If you are wanting to do it, go to one of their channels and click their link and you will get the discount. Okay, I'll speak to you all later on, and thank you again for tuning in. See you later. Bye.